Hi everyone, and welcome to how to create an environmentally friendly green type treatment. So let's get started by creating a new document in Adobe Illustrator, and we're going to start by typing in our text. So let's type in the text here, and the font that we're going to use is called Ubuntu. So let's use Ubuntu Bold, and I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see what we're doing. So now that we've got our font created, the next thing we want to do is we want to create the outlines. So go to Type, and from here we want to find Create Outlines. So select Create Outlines here. And after that we want to go to the Gradient tool. So let's go to the Gradient options here. And we want to make a linear gradient. And let's choose some colors for this. So I'm just going to choose a dark green and a lighter green for our gradient. And let's make the angle 90 degrees, like so. So now we've got a nice, natural looking green gradient for our font. And then the next thing we want to do now is to create the leaf. So let's unselect our text here and select a dark color. And we want to use the outlines for this. Use the pen tool, and let's go ahead and draw out the leaf. So starting with the tip, just use the pen tool to roughly draw out a leaf shape, like so. And then remember, we can also use the direct selection tool here, or A on the keyboard, to adjust the points of our leaf, like so. Just until you're happy with the shape that you've created. Excellent. Then once you're happy with that, go back to the pen tool. I'm just going to split the leaf in half, like so. And then make sure the tip of this line goes to the tip of our leaf. I'm just going to adjust the handle here until you're happy with the shape of your leaf. I'm just going to move this up a little bit as well, just to balance it out. And then just make this bit a little bit curvier. Cool. Then once you're happy with that, let's go back to our selection tool. Select our whole leaf here. And then we want to go to Pathfinder and then select a divide. And this will split our leaf into two. So in order to show this, we need to right click and then ungroup. Now you can see we've got the top half and the bottom half of our leaf, like so. So select our leaf, use the eyedropper tool, and select our font, like so. So now we've got the same color as our text. And then we're just going to use the gradient tool here, just to adjust the look of our leaf, like so. And then go to the bottom half of our leaf. And then do exactly the same, just sort of clicking and dragging, and then giving the gradient angle about 45 degrees. And this will give our leaf a little bit of depth. Excellent. Next, let's go ahead and create the leaf highlight. So let's go to our pen tool again. I'm just going to draw out a little leaf highlight, like so. And we can also make this a little bit bigger. And then selecting this, going to our gradient here, I'm just going to make the left color white and then select radial gradient. And then just moving this on top of our leaf, like so. And then adjusting it until you like the look of our highlight. Excellent. You can also adjust this using the direct selection tool here. I'm just going to adjust the curve of our leaf as well. Cool. So now we've got our highlight. The next thing we want to do is we want to create the stem. So same thing again, just selecting the pen tool, and let's make sure that this is set to black and then outline. I'm just going to draw out a nice little stem for our leaf, like so. And then using the direct selection tool to adjust this. Let's go ahead and zoom in here a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Just going to round out the bottom of our stem a little bit. Let's adjust the handle. And then once you're happy with the way that your stem looks, all you have to do is highlight this and select the gradient tool again using the eyedropper. And let's go ahead and send this to back. So right click, arrange, and then send to back, like so. Cool. So now we've got a stem for our leaf. The next thing we want to do is we want to create a water drop. So let's go over to our rectangle here, click and hold the left mouse button and select the ellipse tool. And we're just going to draw out an ellipse like so. Now, because we had the gradient already selected, you'll see that our ellipse is already the color that we want it. Now let's go ahead and go to our gradient tool here and just going to adjust the direction of our gradient like so. And let's go ahead and draw another ellipse. So this will be the water droplet. And let's make the first color white. Remove this color here. And again, we want to make this a radial gradient. And then using the gradient tool, we can now adjust the look of where our gradient is. So let's just move the white center over here like so. And then just move this on top of our first ellipse like so. And then after that, I'm just going to copy this ellipse. So Control C on the keyboard, then Control V to paste it. And then just make this one a little bit smaller. And then using the gradient tool again, let's go ahead and move our gradient. So let's move our gradient again to somewhere over here. And let's increase the white like so. And we can also change the direction and size of our gradient. And then once you're happy with that, let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. We can also then place this on top like so. In fact, let's make this a little bit whiter. And then again, just moving it around until you're happy with that. And now I'm just going to copy this and make a smaller version. And then just move that to the top like so. And now if we zoom out, and let's go ahead and make this smaller, you'll see if we press Ctrl G to group all of these shapes together, we've now created a water droplet. So just resize this as you see fit. So we've got one here, and let's copy this and paste a smaller one at the bottom, like so. Cool. So we've got two water droplets on our leaf. The next thing we want to do is we want to create a ladybug. So first of all, let's go ahead and use our ellipse tool again. Make sure that we've got black selected and that we're using the strokes. And we're going to create a perfect circle. So hold Shift on the keyboard whilst clicking and dragging on the mouse. And now you've created a perfect circle. Next, let's go over to our gradients here. And we want to create a linear gradient for our ladybug. Let's remove the stroke here, like so. And next we want to use the colors for our ladybug. So let's choose a nice light red and a dark red for our ladybug here, and then change the angle here to 90 degrees. Now if you wanted to adjust the colors, we can double click on these colors here and then go to the color palette here, and let's make our dark red just a little bit darker, like so. And you can do the same to our other color here and just make our red a little bit lighter. Excellent. So once you're happy with your colors, the next thing we want to do is we want to add a highlight. So go back to our ellipse tool and let's draw out a highlight over our circle here. And from here we want to just cut out these shapes so that we're only left with the highlight shape. So let's make sure that it's covering the area that we want for our circle. And then copy our circle here. So let's press Ctrl C and then paste it in place. So it's Ctrl Shift and V on the keyboard. So now we've got two of these shapes. So we've got a duplicate here. So one at the bottom, one in the middle, and one on top. Select the two top shapes here and then go over to Pathfinder. And we want to go ahead and select intersect, like so. And now we're only left with this highlight shape. Now going back to our gradients, let's go ahead and select white for our left shape. And let's change the angle here. So the angle has to be -90. And let's change the color here as well. So we want to change this to a red color. And in fact, we can also use the gradient tool here just to adjust the gradient a little bit. In fact, we can also make this a lighter red, like so. And then once you're happy with that, just click out of that, and now we've got our highlight shape. The next thing we want to do now is we want to go ahead and draw the ladybug spots. So again, going back to the ellipse tool and choosing black, let's go ahead and draw some spots here. So holding Shift on the keyboard and just drawing out the ladybug spots like so. And then just adjusting these spots to where you want them to be. And then using the bottom circle, I'm just going to paste this in place again. So Control C, Control Shift V to put that on top. And for each of these circles, we'll just intersect them so that we're left with the circle like so. And then just turn them black again. So Control Shift V, select the other circle here, press intersect, use the eyedropper tool and select black, Control Shift V again, select this circle here, intersect, make that black, Control Shift V and select the last one here, intersect, and then press I on the keyboard for the eyedropper tool and select that one. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and select these two circles here, and we're just going to make the color just a little bit lighter. So it looks like it's been highlighted, maybe a little bit more lighter as well, like so. Maybe that's a bit too light, somewhere in the middle, like that. And then we want to do the same for this one. Now because this goes just above our highlight here, we want to select the highlight, press Control C, Control Shift V to paste that in place. And let's go ahead and do the same for this circle here as well. So let's press Control C, Control Shift V to paste that on top. Now because this shape is on top, once we select both of these, we want to go ahead and select intersect again. And now we're left with this shape here, which we can now use the eyedropper tool to make this into the highlight, like so. Cool. So now we've got our ladybug body, the next thing we want to do is create the head. So using our ellipse tool here, let's create another perfect circle. Remember holding Shift on the keyboard. And first of all, let's go ahead and group the body. So highlight all the shapes here, press Ctrl G to group, place this on top. And then if we highlight all of these and use the alignment tool here to horizontally align it, so now it's perfectly in the center. We can also go over to our gradients here, select a linear gradient at 90 degrees. And let's go ahead and change the colors here a little bit. So let's have a dark color at the bottom and a lighter gray at the top, like so. And then right click, arrange, and send this to back. And now we want to create the antenna. So let's go ahead and use the pen tool for this. And just draw out two little antennas here, like so. Right click, arrange, send this to back. And if we press Ctrl C and Ctrl Shift V to paste that in place, right click, transform, reflect vertically, and then let's move that antenna over here. Right click, arrange, center back, and if we select both of these, like so, and make sure that they're aligned properly, press Ctrl G to group them, and select all of these, make sure they're all aligned properly here, and just play about with placing those antennae. Excellent. Now we've got our ladybug. The next thing we want to do is create the shadow. So let's go ahead and use the ellipse tool for this again. Create another circle here. And for this one, we want to use a radial gradient, like so. And then for the colors, we want the inside of our gradient to be black and the outside of our gradient to be white, like so. Let's just make sure that it's set to black. And then we want to set the blending of our gradient here from normal to multiply. And then just move this just below our ladybird, like so. Right click, arrange, and send this to back. And we're just going to select all of these and then press Ctrl G to group. And once we've done that, let's go ahead and copy this and resize this accordingly. And all we need to do from here is place our ladybug on top of our leaf and rotate it a little bit, like so. Cool. So now our leaf is ready. Now we can place our ladybug off of our artboard for now. And all that's left from here is to, let's go ahead and select everything apart from our ladybug, our whole leaf. Press Ctrl G to group our leaf, and then press Ctrl C to copy it, and then paste it. So we're going to use this leaf again. And let's go ahead and resize our leaf and place it on top of our text. You can place it however you like so. And you can also, now we've got our leaf here, let's go ahead and copy our leaf and paste this. Right click, transform, reflect vertically, and let's go ahead and put this leaf over here, like so. Now I'm just going to bring in another example of our text here, and let's go ahead and repeat that process. So let's bring this in, put that over here, copy and paste our leaf, and let's make this smaller. Right click, transform, reflect, And let's bring this leaf over to the T here, like so. And let's copy this one and reflect this one. Let's bring that one over to the R, make this a little bit smaller. And then remember to send these to the back as well. So arrange and send it to back. And then let's make one more and make this one bigger and put this where the A is, like so. And then arrange, send to back. Excellent. Let's just adjust this one a little bit. Cool. And now let's take this leaf and put this aside for now. Now let's go ahead and refine the design. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to use the pen tool again. And then this time let's go ahead and use the strokes, and let's select a width profile. So let's select the width profile number 1. And then just using your pen tool, let's go into our font here and create some vines. So let's draw in a vine here, like so. And just make sure that you've selected the width profile here. And let's change the stroke width, like so. And you'll see we've created a vine here. So send this to back. And let's make this a little bit thicker. So let's send our stroke to 3. And now let's draw another vine here, like so. So each time you create a stroke, you want to change that stroke to width profile number 1 and set the stroke width to 3, like so. Send this to back. Let's do the same again to one of these here. Drawing this out. And then you can use the eyedropper tool to select the properties of our vine here. And then change the width profile to number 1. I just want to make this vine a little bit longer so it goes through the A, like so. And then let's send this to back. And then just continue going through the rest of our text, creating these vines. So I'm just going to copy that vine here and then just put that next to our T and just adjust this a little bit. And we can also do the same with these leaves. So let's copy one of these leaves and let's simplify these a little bit. So in order to simplify this, let's select all of this and let's go to the Pathfinder tool here and then select Unite. Then let's change the gradient to the same gradient as our text and just adjusting the leaf a little bit, making it a little bit smaller and putting this on top of our R, like so. And just copying that, arrange, in fact reflect this first, make this a little bit smaller, like so, and then selecting both of these and sending these to the back, like so. Cool, and then maybe just one more vine on our A. Let's put this here. And let's transform this, reflect horizontally, like so. Arrange, center back. Awesome. And let's zoom out here. And then finally, the next thing you want to do is just add these water droplets on top of our text as well. So let's go back to our leaf here. Let's ungroup this so we can select our water droplets. Let's copy the water droplet here and zoom into our text and just add these water droplets on top like so. Just going to add this one here and copy that. Make this one a little bit smaller. Add that one here. And this will really help sort of merge the leaves to the text. Let's put one at the A and make this one a little bit smaller, placing it here. And I'm just going to copy these and then sort of paste these here. Rotate these a little bit, and the same over where our U is. And then paste these on our R, and then finally our last letter, A. Cool. Now finally, the last thing that we want to do to finish off this effect is to create the ground and the dirt for our text. So to do this, use the ellipse tool again, draw out a little circle, go to the gradient here, and let's choose some brown colors. So for the center, we want a nice bright brown here, and then for the outer circle, we want a darker brown. So I'm just going to zoom in here so you can see what we're doing. And then let's choose a radial gradient. And then once you've done that, all we need to do is duplicate this and then just sort of arrange them in a random way so that it emulates dirt. So just copying and pasting them around just to make a little mound of dirt like so. And then once you've got enough, all you need to do is copy that, and then we can also transform them just to make it seem a little bit more random, and rotate and resize and just make a whole bunch of these until eventually you come up with something that looks a little bit more like this. So now once you've got all of your dirt here, just select your dirt like so, and then just place it on top of your text. Excellent. It's just placing it here all the way along our text. So there you have it, how to create an environmentally friendly green type treatment. I hope you had fun with this tutorial, and I'll see you next time on Tuts Plus.